and welcome back to Scout Report. Currently out of the Champions League spots and light years behind their neighbours. Today we're coming up with 5 ways Manchester United could save their season. 5. Sell the dead weight. Do we have any dead weight? This is a Samuel Kosecki shout, this one. One problem Jose Mourinho won't let us forget, despite a bench housing Paul Pogba, is Manchester United's lack of squad depth. The likes of Marcus Rashford and Scott McTominay have bucked the trend of young players normally excluded from the Special Ones plans and are dragging the average age of the squad down to 27 years old. However, Marouane Fellaini and Juan Mata are 2 of 7 players over the age of 30 in the ageing Manchester United squad. An uncharacteristic defensive nightmare has settled in Manchester. At the time of recording, the Red Devils have conceded 26 goals, just 2 fewer than they let in the whole of last season. Injuries to Phil Jones and Antonio Valencia have limited their appearances in the backline. Eric Bailly, bought in 2016 for his composure on the ball, has looked clumsy. And whilst Mourinho has finally fallen back in love with Luke Shaw, the Old Trafford regulars have lost their patience with Marcos Rojo. The injury-prone Argentinian has played 108 games out of a possible 240 over his 4.5 years with the club. And Mourinho is reportedly ready to let him go after failing to offload the 28-year-old in the last 3 windows. And he is exactly the dead weight they need to let go in January. Featuring in 30 of United's 38 Premier League games last season and 11 of the 16 so far this term, Ashley Young has somehow been a prominent figure in the Red Devils setup as their most frequently used fullback. Unfortunately for Mourinho, the Englishman's output indicates that he is slowing down even more. This term, the 33-year-old has averaged 1.6 tackles per game compared to 2.4 he was managing in 2017-18. And with 7 months until Young's contract runs out, Manchester United clearly need to find some depth to support Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw. But in order to sign new recruits, they will have to make some space in the dressing room, with Ander Herrera, Mateo Darmian, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling earning a grand total of £265,000 a week for 24 starts combined this season. It's crystal clear, therefore, that Manchester United need to get rid of their spare parts so the board might finally be willing to spend some funds in January. 4. Settle on your best 11. Under Ferguson, United were a force that instilled fear into all competitors thanks to their strong spine and fierce backline. But without the Scotsman and having never truly replaced the likes of Ferdinand, Vidic or Michael Carrick, they're an unrecognisable outfit. The 2018-19 campaign has also shown a loss of the fear factor that used to penetrate Old Trafford. With Mourinho having previously crafted some suitably terrifying teams, it isn't necessarily a personnel problem. Not being able to settle on his best starting lineup, however, has hampered their form and fueled rumours of off-the-pitch problems. A third of the way through the season and Jose has already made 46 changes in the Premier League. That's more than any other manager in the English top flight. The Portuguese boss is constantly complaining about his lack of options and was left frustrated with United's lack of transfer activity in the previous window. However, the 2 signings he did make in Diogo Dalot and Fred, worth a combined £72.9 million, have only featured in 7 games in the Premier League so far. This is hardly instilling confidence in Ed Woodward to part with more cash in January. Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku cost United a combined £175 million, but both have spent more time keeping the bench warm than any of us would have expected so far this season. And Alexis Sanchez's move cost Manchester United £341,000 a week. And let's face it, it's been a mitigated disaster. At the time of recording, he's been ruled out of action for a month with an injury, but we can't blame his previous form on that dodgy hamstring. Sanchez has made 10 appearances in the league, with 5 of those coming off the bench, scoring just 1 goal this season and managing just 1.3 shots per game. A huge drop-off from his final season at the Emirates, where he averaged 3.6 and scored 7 in just 17. We will have to wait and see whether Mourinho considers Alexi dead weight or forces him back into the lineup when he's fit though. Mourinho desperately needs to find his strongest starting 11, give up on the off-the-pitch politics and focus on finding a run of form before they drop from Champions League contention. Number 3, buy a centre-back. We've already mentioned that the Red Devils have conceded 26 goals so far this term, but add more context to that figure and it's even worse than it first sounds. They're currently the 7th worst team defensively in the Premier League, with West Ham, Brighton and Newcastle all conceding fewer than Man United at the time of recording. They've also let in 10 goals at 8 games so far this season at Old Trafford. That's the same as they managed in the whole of 2017-18, and it's even more evidence that they're losing the power of the theatre of dreams. And let's face it, the main problems lie with the back four. Chris Smalling has been Mourinho's most used centre-back, but the Englishman has struggled this term badly, committing 0.8 fouls per game compared to 0.4 in the 2016-17 season. With Smalling in the side, United have only managed to keep 2 clean sheets in 13 Premier League games. Mourinho clearly doesn't favour Eric Bailly either, and the Ivorian has only featured 4 times in the Premier League, with 2 of those appearances coming off the bench. Lindelof, however, has looked the most solid of the lot and has taken good strides forward this season, making 11 appearances. Even so, the Portuguese manager has chopped and changed his backline pairing all season, starting with Bailly and Lindelof, and after a few bad results reverting back to Smalling and Lindelof. However, if he looked more closely at the statistics, he might well change his mind. When it comes to win percentage, the Swede leads the way with 69%, and Bailly follows closely in second with 66%. In terms of racking up clean sheets though, the Ivorian has kept opponents goalless in 50% of all league starts. Chris Smalling, however, has a measly 39.5% in the same amount of time. Surely, therefore, Bailly and Lindelof should be considered the starting pairing for Manchester United. But either way, I think we can all agree that Jose Mourinho is going to go in big for a defensive stalwart in January. 2. Get the most out of Romelu Lukaku. Now 25 years old, Romelu Lukaku is supposed to be entering his prime years, and with a move to Old Trafford in July 2017, the Belgian striker probably thought things would take off from there. But this season in particular, it hasn't exactly gone to plan statistically. In fact, in his final season at Everton, Lukaku averaged 3 shots per game. This season, he's only attempting 1.6 per 90 minutes. In 166 appearances for the Toffees, the striker scored an incredible 87 goals, and in his final season became the first player since Graham Sharp to score at least 20 goals in consecutive campaigns. And despite a strong first season in Manchester, his struggles at the start of this campaign have led the United faithful to question the striker's ability somewhat, a fact that has been compounded by the run of 900 plus minutes without a goal at Old Trafford at the start of this season. The 6'3" forward looks extremely low on confidence, particularly in build-up play, a feeling that is supported by just 0.9 key passes and 0.6 dribbles per 90. This makes for pretty ugly reading when compared with 1.3 key passes and an impressive 1.7 successful dribbles he racked up whilst wearing Everton's blue. Punished for his poor form of late, Lukaku has already been forced to the bench 4 times in the Prem this season, his joint highest tally since joining the English top tier. Making that record before Christmas, it's clear his manager has lost some faith in the £85 million man. The 25-year-old has also been forced to adapt his game, especially his hold-up play, and although his touch is constantly crucified by me as well, surprisingly this season he's averaged just 1.6 bag controls per game compared to 2.2 last season. For £85 million though, Lukaku really should be battling Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Sergio Aguero and Harry Kane for the Premier League Golden Boot. But with United creating just 25 big chances all season, the striker is becoming somewhat of a scapegoat for the lack of creativity within the whole team. Number 1, put Mourinho out of his misery, please. When Jose Mourinho burst onto the scene in 2004 as Chelsea's charming new manager, he brought new ideologies and philosophies to Stamford Bridge. But it seems we've now come full circle, with Jose's ideas looking exhausted, his philosophies out of date, and parking the team bus becoming his game plan, not his post-match joke. He might never have been known for winning pretty, but the Portuguese coach's CV does prove he's at least used to winning, with 8 different titles in 4 different leagues, including a treble at Inter Milan. However, when he looks for his next job, he should probably leave the 2018-19 campaign off his resume. This term, Mourinho has hit his usual third season syndrome, having earned just a measly 56% win percentage for United this term. From open play, United have scored 18 goals. That's 20 fewer than Guardiola's City have bagged already this season. But potentially even more worryingly, according to expected goals, United are actually overachieving. Considering the quality of chances, the Red Devils should only have scored 16 times according to expected goals this season. Contracted to stay in the Old Trafford dugout until 2020, his strained relationship with Ed Woodward might have dented his chances of seeing out the entire stint. And some fans are already looking forward to life in Manchester without the special one, including me. At the top of many Manchester United supporters' wish list is Tottenham coach Mauricio Pochettino. Currently 10 points ahead of Mourinho's Manchester, Tottenham have created more chances and are conceding fewer, averaging 1 goal let in per game, compared to United, who are conceding 1.6 per 90. Pochettino's style of play, treatment of young English stars, and an ability to get the most out of his squad in North London makes everyone feel like he's the ideal candidate to fix the problems at Old Trafford. United might not want to continue on the managerial merry-go-round, and they might not even possess the pulling factor to pinch a top coach from a rival, but no matter how you look at it, the future of Old Trafford doesn't seem to be Jose Mourinho shaped. That was our 5 ways to fix Manchester United, but if you've got any other suggestions, why don't you bang them in the comments right now, and if you enjoyed this video, click on screen right now to continue watching.